What's up, friends? This one should be a good one. You know, we got ducks versus ducks. It's you know, some duck on duck Overwatch going on here tonight. Alternate that their logo is also a duck, though it's a little more subtle. It's a little bit more subtle, but there is a. If you remember the old alternate logo, it was like the old Alt Spartans logo. It was a duck dressed up in like a Spartan's, you know, holding like a spear and had like an old Roman hat on and that kind of a thing, right? Point being, it's just a, you know, it's a duck logo. It's more subtle. It's in there. You have to kind of look into the alternate United. It's like AU is what's actually in the logo, but yeah, there's a little duck head there in the alt logo. It took me a couple times of looking at it to realize that's what it was, but yeah, there you go. Duck on duck tonight. We're feeling foul. Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of a night. We're just gonna keep the dad jokes flying. You know, it just fits the bill. Let's see. Let's go look at standings. Let's see how both these teams are doing so far this season. Dhill coming in 5-1. Been looking quite strong. Alternate on the other hand, alternate are 1-5. So a bit of an opposite scenario here. And talking to alternate, I was actually talking to Kim just very briefly, a little bit earlier. And we'll say that they're kind of feeling like they're in a little bit of transition, and definitely feel like they're the underdogs here tonight. I mean, and you know, looking at the records, yeah, I would say alternate are definitely the underdogs here tonight. This team's been together for some time now. Here, let's just go ahead and pull up. This is the same roster that carried over from Ultimation that played in Expert for seasons 2 and 3. Much of the same roster as well. Make it all the way to the grand finals last season. They actually were the one of two teams that handed Nightmare Rotation a loss throughout this entire season. Midori was able to do it in regular season, and then Alt Spartans, as they were known at the time, beat Nightmare Rotation in that winner's bracket final. So that win solidified them a spot here in Master Division. Season 3 of NA Expert was incredibly competitive. You had to have a 9-5 record just to get in at 16th seed to make it into the postseason. Now, of course, that means they get promoted into Master Division here for 2025 in Season 4. Where they have struggled a little bit. But they've also gone up against, I mean, they've got a couple of tough teams in here as well. So, I mean, you know, going up against your Chains family, 5-2, the recent Tanuki roster, this is, you know, the EV Narwhal roster. They're sitting at 5-2. Rat Academy are sitting at 5-2. Let me go back to my, there we are. Rat Academy are sitting at 5-2. Extinction are sitting at 6-1 or 5-1. I can't remember if they played their 7th game or not. 5-1. So, like, they've had a pretty damn tough road. Like, Boop Troop is probably the easiest game they've had, and that's a 4-3. Alternate have yet to earn a win yet this season. I mean, this is an FF win. Their easiest opponent still has a winning record. You know, that has been the most winnable match that you've had all season. And it's just been everybody up from there. It's literally been all of these teams. That's just a rough opening strength of schedule, right? Like, that's just hard. And obviously, Dhill rounding out that tough run as they face them tonight. But this has been their schedule. It's been literally this right here. I think, you know, if you're alternate at this point, you know, you can't be too hard on yourself about this. You've had a really, really hard go. And of course, this compounds, right? When you have a run like that, when you have a schedule like that, I mean, obviously it's going to hurt your confidence, right? I mean, you're starting to look at this like, man, you know, we're not able to take any of these matches, but it's because you're going up against like the very top of the bracket. Let's zoom in here on the Ducks for a moment. Well, the other Ducks, the yellow and purple Ducks as opposed to the green Ducks. Your yellow and purple Ducks dropped their first series to EDM, which is basically UTD with Gorilla. The Ducks, since dropping that match, have been able to go on a nice little win streak here. But unlike their opponents, it's kind of been an opposite story here, right? Boop Troop is the toughest opponent that Dhill have faced so far. Where, you know, when we were looking at alternate, we felt like Boop Troop was the easiest opponent they have faced so far. So quite the difference there. Going back and looking at these standings, I mean, you know, it's Rotation are 1-5, Sienna Heights are 3-4, Boop Troop's 4-3, and Midori is 3-4 as well. So Dhill Ducks are about to enter their gauntlet. They'll, alternate 1 and 5 tonight. Dhill Ducks would be considered the favorites here, I think. Even though I think the 5 and 1 versus a 1 and 5 team is way more skewed than the skill level of these two teams. I mean, even Kibbs himself said that, alternate are feeling like the underdogs in this match. So I definitely still give the edge to the Ducks. I mean, they're a strong team. We can't take anything away from the Ducks because they haven't played tougher opponents. But I do think that comparing our two strengths of schedules kind of pulls these two teams a little bit closer together than you might initially think just looking at the standings and saying, oh, we have this team tied for third place taking on this team that I have to scroll down to and it's tied for last place, right? Dhill Ducks, this is their first season under the Dhill Ducks banner. But this team has been around since I've been around in FACEIT. They've gone through multiple name changes, picked up by a couple different rosters, but it has essentially been this same squad for quite some time. Whoa, I was rambling way past our match time. My Overwatch isn't open. How the hell? Oh my goodness. Oh, hey, we're not that late. They haven't gotten out of spawn yet. We're okay. We're okay. Big B, is that me? Is that me? Let's see. Let me go get your bands plugged in here. I don't know who banned what. I'm honestly just gonna guess. Wrecking Ball and Brig. I don't think of Kibbs as having having a Wrecking Ball. I could be wrong. They're on opposite sides from what I have too, aren't they? Yep. All right. Gotta get sides fixed. Okay. I'm late. I'm late to the party. Let me get caught up here. Okay. Ooh, nice kill from PDK to try to clap back here, but playing from a deficit. Looks like Dhill Ducks might have to relinquish control here. Late kill on the Baz there from One Leaf Clover in the backline. Picking up an Ana here, by the way, so you get a bit of the Ana Kiri backline. Wait, actually, now that I'm looking at it, does Kibbs play Wrecking Ball? I think Kibbs might actually play Wrecking Ball. Might be Baz who doesn't play ball. Hey, it's change pops, thank you. Oh, Dust is still on the team. He's just a victim of no sub spots. Gotcha. Okay, good to know, Nog. Good to know. Correct me if my bans are wrong as well. It was literally just a guess. We're gonna get Ducks coming up with this control. All right, we'll lock in. Well, support ults available here for alternate. We are seeing some newcomers here for alternate as well. So Eve on the battlefield here. I don't remember seeing play with this squad before. And you see Lau, another one in the backline. Fight that opening pick with Concern Rush, able to find Baz. Good headshot landed there on a frothy Philly, but PDK comes in with the big pick. Fighting two with that overclock. Now we're gonna get the rush invested from Philly as well. Philly's getting chased out, trying to heal up Baz. Eve in pursuit with an overclock. Clipped the wall there with the disruptor shot, and with the return of Baz, has to give up on that pursuit. Oh, Baz like did a little hop skip jump across the across the point there. That was fun. Shield dancing around the sleep dart. Baz will just let that purple fade. Goes in for another attempt onto the Ana. Pops the primal rage. Got both supports in the juggle. Actually, it may have been Eve and One Leaf that were caught in that juggle, now that I'm seeing the health bars. Not securing a kill, though. Has to drop back. Quack time. Different kind of quack. That's what I'm saying. We need a duck emote. A duck emote would just be good for like 4 different instances. You have 2 teams that are duck themed. You have a third that's literally just called Quack that we've made with Quick Academy. You've got a player called Duck. I mean, we just need a duck emote. PDK is another player that is new to me and has had a spectacular opening here on Beach. Comes up with another 2-piece during that fight. I feel like I should know PDK. It's like one of those where it doesn't seem familiar, but I feel like it should. Bit of a slow approach. Looks like Baz and the Ducks are kind of just letting alternate take their time, get out. Eventually, we're going to get the Kitsune thrown in from both sides. But Biblical falls. Once again, PDK lighting up the feed. Eve got the nano through this and moves on to the objective alongside Kids. Try to anchor this cart. Kitsune Rush invested out a Lao. PDK dies trying to get their own OC onto the battlefield, but it looks to still be a +1 over to Dhill. Here's this fight devolves. Baz fighting Kids. Should just secure this cap. Means the Suzu to fend off the pulse bomb. Biblical brought down by Frothy Philly. Overclock popped by Eve. Do still have one. Clever was trying to stall for a moment. Now Eve is just forced to run onto the point. Gibbs now left alone. The coconuts fall in favor of Dhill. Okay, we're gonna get the Kibbs Malga, and this is what I remember. I remember this team pulling out the Malga Sombra before I saw Amplify run in. Like I feel like Alt Spartans were the progenitors of the Malga Sombra that Amplify later used to make it into OWCS. Eve on the venture, just not quite able to get out of it. This is being a pretty bloody hallway back here. I don't know that I've ever seen a team fight take place in this tiny hallway. What on earth was that? I don't even know where that hallway was. Like, if you told me to go fly back into that hallway right now, I don't even know that I'd be able to find that same hole. Where on earth was that team fight? Wow, 61% to the Forest Ultimate, leading the server in ult charge here. Oh, that's a long-range headshot. Kibbs had Redx, dangerous spot, forces Redx to go all the way around to regroup with the rest of the team, but Razor and Baz are able to kind of win out, find a mismatch here on the opposite side, forces Kibbs back to peel, but doesn't have enough health. Actually, that was forcing Kibbs forward. It was our teams that kind of swapped sides there momentarily. I love this skin. This skin is awesome. I particularly like the orange accents on the emerald weapon. That looks really good. All right, One Leaf. You get S tier aesthetics here, bud. Very split approach, though. Unfortunately, alternate are very, very separated with using a Kitsune rush. Still, Eve goes down. Now the pursuit on to Kibbs. That was okay. They just shadow step in place. What on earth just happened? They're gonna pull out a big. Supported by a sound barrier, but the Razor Death Blossom will shut it down. Red X invested their own sound barrier into that one as well to help dull the blade, and Razor with a nice 3-piece at the end of the fight. 90% on the board here for the Ducks. Cage fired up, holding Vaz in the corner. Try to keep that shield in front of him for as long as possible. Now the block up, back it in, pops the annihilation, the overrun down, and then you just can't wrestle Vaz down. Vaz just backs up against the wall and turns into a titanium statue. Ends up killing Eve with the annihilation and just refuses to die. That was incredible. That's gonna be enough. It's gonna be 100-0 here on Volcano as Dhill Ducks will take a 1-0. I didn't hit the wrong button. That was a perfect transition. I don't know what you're talking about. Stats there for map 2. Or for map 1, rather. Frothy with only 1 death there in the flex support role. You're looking at 10 deaths total. Excuse me, 12. 12 deaths total for Dhill Ducks. Oh, I just got Polar Bap. I just got Polar Bap in a loot box. I was so excited. I was so excited, Maddie. I know. They're only purples. But legit, I just got Polar Bap in a loot box and it made my day. I don't even play that much Bap, but I just really like the skin. And Bap is one of the only heroes that I don't have like a really fixed skin that I thoroughly love. I mostly stick with the disco skin on Bap, but I was super excited about the Polar skin. I agree with you 100%. Highly underrated. Great skin. Anyway, yeah, 12 deaths versus, I mean, a lot more than 12. A lot more than 12. Quick math, that's 12 plus 24, so that's gonna be 36 deaths on the other side. But, you know what? We've heard that alternate are in the process, kind of in a transition phase. We are seeing some new players here that we hadn't seen before. No, I don't know that they're new this like super new. They could just be new for stage 4 for 2025. The timing on the end of that song versus the invite was really cool. Also, the end of that song always reminds me of Avatar. I swear they took that they just like straight ripped off Avatar. Or it's paying homage to Avatar. Maybe it's not a rip off. Maybe it is actually genuinely like a showing respect and kind of a little nod to Avatar music. With that doom 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 doom. Very Avatar. Anyway, let's get into Numbani. It's time for map 2. Diva Ana banned out. Ooh, who was playing the Ana? I believe alternate was playing the Ana, right? All right, let's get him map 2. One Leaf Clover was definitely playing the Ana. So I'm going to guess that that was a Ducks ban. Which, of course, means the Diva ban. Coming in from alternate. Are you pulling out the Echo here? I mean, just default base Echo skin. And we got a PDK cast. Oh, finds first blood, even. Rocking a Titan skin. How did you get a headshot out of that second headshot? Oh no! The boop from Red X. Red X caught the boop as Kids was jumping and just added extra momentum to it. Oh no! And Kids goes flying off the side. What a play out of Red X. Check this shit out, Big B. That's me, by the way. Done. Done. It's the first time anybody's ever said, like, hey, look at what I'm doing mid-game. That is a first. That is a first, Razor. Well done. Ooh, actually, I ended up in a little bit of a duel here with Biblical. Kind of control for this flank side. Razor's getting the hell out of there. Oh man, this is fun. I've never had anybody call me Big B before. I'm not even sure how I feel about that, but you know what? That's okay. That's okay. I think it's meant as a compliment. I'm gonna take it as such. Consider rush up in here from Dhill Ducks. You did have an Eve dupe onto the cast. Who's gonna land this? Yeah, you bet. Hey, you're gonna get Red X with that? Almost got Red X with the Deadeye. Sound barrier from Red X, just right there at the end. Lau threw in a pretty little street. You know, I was trying to redecorate point B here. Oh, hey, Maddie, you're our lore expert. What are these symbols? They're all over Nepal. Like, they're all over Nepal. And I've always wondered, what are these symbols? Anyway. These teams are having fun. Warren, I appreciate the follow. Says, Frothy Philly is my favorite. Do not ask what Kim did to knock Fred behind target. Whoa. Okay. You got it. Herd. Big herd. That's a sound barrier. That is a solo sound barrier from One Leaf Clover. Just solo beat to try to get that kill. Actually, you know, at least assisted. I mean, all right. Honestly, considering this week has been nothing, literally 4 map 5s in a row here in NA, this has been kind of fun. Look at the clap back. There we go. There we go, alternate. After just getting ran over all map, he swaps over to Cassidy and alternate plant their feet. Win their first team fight here on Numbani. Let's go. Woo. Fast ambush into the back pass, making a swap over to the Orisa. And there's a Bastion on the battlefield, by the way. Kids finding that out the hole. Kids makes it out in one piece. I don't know if that Kids is going to survive this, though. Baz coming in, looking for the kill. Lands the energy javelin, but there's a nice big old orbital ray out allowed. You know how Magas love their orbital rays. Gonna go in. This should just be a good hold. Yeah, Lau comes up with 2. And despite the early 2 picks there for the Ducks, you know, Malga and Juno, it's just like peanut butter and jelly. Kid's looking to try to ambush with a cage fight. Doesn't quite have it up yet, but one good overrun should get it, particularly hit a couple people. Obviously, we get a final swap out of Eve here. Where are you going? That's an Uber reference, by the way. That is me paying homage to Mitch Leslie. Oh, Kids. Kids, that would hurt, bud. They made the read on that one, I'm afraid. You know, there was certainly no parking. Dilducks did not break any laws here in Numbani. Minimal parking. Baz does have a wrecking ball on him. What are we doing? What are y'all doing? I miss you. I miss you, contenders. Oh, rip. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. Eve back into the Echo here for alternate attack. Try to equal the 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Put up on the other side. Where's Kibbs going? Kibbs is like right up Main Street. I love the Numbani rework, by the way. This is amazing. I know it's been a while, but we've just gotten to see Numbani here from Season 4 for kind of the first time it felt like in some time. So it's been really nice acing this map. I like this map. I know that's kind of controversial. I really like Numbani, and I think the rework was very good. Give me that Spaz Wrecking Ball. Kids gets caught down low. Doesn't have jump to get up to safety. And the support's not able to make it in. This attack will get thwarted. And Razor coming up with a pair of kills here on the back of the fight. Baz? Yep. Baz kind of messed that one up. I don't know what Baz is trying to do, but I can tell you as a Wrecking Ball player myself, that was not it. Well, as soon as you lose momentum, it's so hard as ball. Like, once you kind of get stuck on something or stop like that, you can see he was not expecting to get stuck on that tree. Nice conversions there in the back. One leaf clover with a big pick on a PDK. Saw that. That was clean. Manual hack on the Baz, and that'll be the end of the ball. Bit of a duel going on up top. Razor by themselves has the pulse, but so does Biblical. Biblical will get the blink melee in. A fairly quick time here. It wasn't a one and done, but it wasn't far from a one and done. It was like 1.5 and done. You know what? Honestly, I don't think I've ever considered the strength of Moira's like primary attack against a Sombra. Like you can use that to spy check. Yeah, there you go. And like it grabbed Eve right there. Redix is actually gonna find Kibbs. This very aggressive Moira play. Good boop. The boop prevented the mines from getting onto the corner. That was really clutch boop. He's going to throw in a massive EMP over the top as well. Probably really does get the Kitsune rush onto this corner. But I feel like Alternate have gotten the edge in this fight. Once they made it past the mines, I mean, it was a huge EMP. They're out of Eve. They immediately get the kill on a Frothy Philly. And despite getting the rush out onto the battlefield, just Redix does not have enough sustain. Glitch comp. Is that what this is? Is this the glitch comp? I gotta say, when I asked Nogfriend how the squad was feeling, he said super glitchy. And that was the response I got. I gotta admit, I did not know what that meant. I was just like, okay. Woo! Okay, Lau. Let's say, okay, you've handled 2, but yeah, I don't think you want to try to take on the Winston. At least not without some assistance. Lau with a 3-piece on the Kiriko in that fight. See the extra Fuda just flying out randomly. Whoop. I wonder, do those find people, like, across the map? You know, when you just see those two of Fuda, like you saw them kind of spit out sideways. Ooh, that is Kib's in a bit of trouble here. Vehicle dropped a pulse right in the middle of that Concerted Rush. Fortunately, just not going to find it. PEK low on health. Evil get the kill from distance, but Red X finds the revenge. And the defense makes it stop. 3:30 remain on the clock. I'm guessing the glitch comp was the Wrecking Ball Moira comp. Okay, Eve. Yeah, massive EMP. Massive EMP. The Deadeye finds one, but man, that EMP was enormous. Hit all 5. Immediately, Eve picks off 3 amidst that. I think, you know, the Doc's got a little aggressive on the back of that kill, kind of huddled up. Now, Sound Barrier. Here out of alternatives, they try to push forward, but one Leaf gets picked on that corner. It was actually an excellent bubble here out of Baz. Oh, I've always been a Frothy Philly fan. Oh, yeah. What would you do if you couldn't glitch, Jeff? I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. But I can't. I'm old. I can't glitch. I don't know how to glitch. So there's a mass problem going on right outside of the spawn door. Oh, it finds Lau. I love the move. I love it, One Leaf. I respect it, One Leaf. I know it was a backbreaker of a move, but I respect it. Jump down into all 5 to find that kill on the PDK. I mean, and that breaks the spawn hold. I mean, great move there out of One Leaf. God, it felt like a really fast Deadeye. I guess Eve has EMP. Like those two were used simultaneously last time, and they're both built up about the same time. But still another impressive defense here with less than a minute remaining. But Eve's EMPs have been fight winning pretty much every single time.
We gonna move the payload or what?
Back to Frothy Philly. Has a nasty Kiriko. I don't know much about Frothy Philly's other hero pool, but has a nasty Kiri with that Concerted Rush now into the battlefield. Eve will get popped by Philly in the backline. And this EMP will not get it done this time. Concerted Rush out, but it's a 3v5 here for alternate as they try to push forward, see if they can trade out anything. Kibbs pops the primal as we get the tense music starting to build. One Leaf and Kibbs do come up with picks. This isn't done yet. Oh, somebody's gotta get on the cart. Okay, yeah, Kibbs will go in. Eve was there to make sure that the OT was initiated as well. But that's a point-blank 2K Deadeye out of PTK. And that'll just be the end of it. Lau picks up one more for the road, but Dhill Ducks will take the map at the 2-0 lead. All right, some stats there for map 2. I think it feels a little bit closer. Oh, yeah. That's not the spirit. I mean, Love Luck, I don't know what you want from me, okay? I don't know what you want from me. What would I do? I would glitch harder? Is that what you're asking? I don't know. I don't know. I would super glitch? Let's see, what was it? Over glitched. Excuse me, not super glitched. Over glitched. That's what I do. Feeling over glitched was the word I got from Nogfriend earlier. Hey, you know what? As I was starting to say before, though, after, I mean, it feels like every NA match has been super intense. You know, for the past like 4 NA matches we've had dating back to Friday last week. This one feels a little more lighthearted, a little more fun, right? I mean, just from the moment I got in the lobby. And you know what? It's been a nice change. It's like I don't know. You know, I was service industry for a long time. It's like when you've had a bunch of super busy nights and then you just get a dead night. Typically, dead nights are not what you're looking for in service industry. But after you've had a bunch of busy nights in a row, a dead night is just kind of a nice change of pace. It's almost like that. Like, it's not like, you know, we normally ask for lighthearted matches. Like, that's not what you're really looking for. But we've had so many super intense, super competitive map 5 matches in a row that this is a nice change of pace. It's just been fun comps. You know, pretty lighthearted there in game chat. And you can kind of see by the play that at least the Ducks are having a good time with it. I hope Alternate's having a good time with it. I hope they're not just feeling totally beat up. Lao had a fantastic map. Honestly, for my first experience with Lao and Eve, I mean, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Eve has clearly been taking notes from Cape, you know, from the Sombra Master himself. And Lao was going toe to toe. Honestly, I don't know that Frothy Philly's ever been. Actually, I do feel like Frothy Philly is a pretty aggressive Kiriko. Now that I'm thinking back on it. And Lao had, you know, was kind of lighting up the kill feed a bit more. Frothy also has a hell of a high FACEIT League score. That's nuts. That's actually really high. Oh, PDK, thank you for the follow. Okay. All right, Lovelock. All right. I'm on the same page. I just needed a little coaching. Lovelock. PDK, you had a hell of a map. Oh, yeah, let's get into map 3. I think we got a side swap here as we're heading into Esperanca. We did indeed. Maga and Carry banned out. No, no asking required here. Ducks ban out the Maga. That is a Kib specialty. And then, honestly, it kind of. I mean, we saw Alternate play a bit of the Ana in map 1, so it may have just gone to the Kiri because of the Ana ban. But I felt like Lao had a really good Kiriko. All right, let's get into it. We're headed to Esperanza. Uh-oh, my dog's got his whiny britches on. He had come bust my door open again, just to follow through with our previous narrative on that. All right. And look at the market band. Kips comes out on the Junker Queen. PDK back into this Cassie. And we have not seen hardly any Cassie at all in some time, but certainly not since the perk era. Cass is a lot of fun to watch, although it kind of gets beat up there. But, you know, Cass doesn't have the same, I don't know what the word, forgiveness that like a Sojourn does, right? Your combat role doesn't get you out of nearly as many bad positioning situations. you know, as having one slide, much less two slides like Soj has now. So the Cassie, you have to have really good fundamentals, and you got to be able to win your duels as well. So I mean, positioning becomes that much more important. You can't get sloppy with your positioning like you kind of can with the Soj. As I say that, PDK goes on this huge flank. A bit of a risky maneuver, but everybody from alternate is moving up towards this high ground here. Oh, it was One Leaf. Yeah, I knew that. It was One Leaf who played the Ana. I said Lau playing the Ana. It was Lau on the Juno earlier. Of course. PDK still holding down this straight. Made it very difficult for alternate to start to move in. Tried to get One Leaf with that shot. Not going to happen, though. But ends up coming up behind Kids. Kids now has danger on both sides. Eve is there to back him up, though. Eve with a kill on a Frothy Philly bails Kids out of that tight spot. They're able to fall back, kind of regroup a little bit here. Kim's building up towards a rampage, but Baz has got a bit of a lead as far as the tank ultimate is concerned. Hey, you know what? That'll help you catch up. That was a good purple out of One Leaf as well. Oh, that sleep! That was so gross! That was so gross! Oh, we caught that one, One Leaf. We got that. That was nasty. That was nasty. Caught the blink. That was cool. Ooh, everybody get out of the way of the downpour. I'm not even sure Kids had to even shout on that. Yeah, actually did use shout on that. Ooh, that's a huge rampage. Fights 4, completely devaluing the orbital ray. Frothy Philly is going to get cut down. Speaking of cut down, there's the axe that lands onto Baz with the follow-up shot onto Redix as well. Gibbs pursuing the two players stuck on the stairwell. Baz at about half health. PDK lower than that. Give me a Carnage axe to finish off the former. And PDK now just stuck in a bad spot. Razor returns to get a pick. Nice knife. Lands in a Razor. Razor has 1 health.
Look at that push button go.
Able to make it back, get some heals. But good job from alternate being able to hold this door long enough to get very, very close to a checkpoint. And in fact, I don't think we're going to get a contest here. Yeah, really nice job there out of alternate. An important checkpoint picked up here. They have the lead and the ability to continue to march forward. Not a whole lot of ults to get through this difficult corner, though. So it's back up to the high ground here for alternate. They're not pressing the issue here after getting the checkpoint. Oh. Oh, no. Biblical. Biblical popped the cooldown, had the edge, and just couldn't land the shot. Oh, no. PDK absolutely broke Biblical's ankles back there. Oh, no. I'm sorry, Biblical. Unfortunately, we got that on stream, too. Both support taking down low, but we do still have... Looks like everybody got close spawns. Yeah, everybody from alternate got close spawns. Nano boost available. Ooh, Eve with a pick down low on the point. Didn't even have to use the pulse bomb for that. Nice sleep comes out from One Leaf to interrupt the dead eye. God, that was from all the way down here? That was one hell of a sleep. Kids trades themselves out for PDK. Baz gets a nano boost to try to see if they can finish off the rest of this cap. Biblical jumps down in lieu of having no tank to try to run off the Orisa, and we'll get it done. Oh, just shove the rivet gun right down Baz's throat. TS1 is marching back the other direction. Alternate hang on to their lead and do not give up the checkpoint. I love this plan for Biblical. Biblical's gonna go sneak out for some meterage, realizing that Dhill Ducks were not playing corner. This forces Baz to make a rotation back and now finds himself in a mismatch. It's a 2v1 and Baz's purple orbital's not gonna help Baz. This is an extra damage. And finally they bring him down. Kids trying to equalize here, but it's a 2v3, I believe, favoring Dhill Ducks when it was all said and done. PDK was able to clap back tenfold while all of that damage was flying in Baz's direction. And that's part of, you know, the sustain of that Orisa. One of the benefits of bringing that hero to the table, it just took so long to take the Orisa down. That was a huge bio-nade that landed there from Frothy. We're gonna get a touch. Oh, it's a bit late. The nano boost goes out. Who got the nano? Oh, Biblical. Ducks just disengage after getting the cap. Ooh, what a creative molten core. I actually really like that. Block off that avenue of retreat. Soundbarrier thrown in. Oh, no, Kibbs! No, Kibbs! Oh, poor guy. Just got absolutely speared out of that rampage. Oh, put into the wall. Put on a poster. That hurt. That hurt. And that's the lead going over to Dhill Ducks. I felt that one in my bones. Tibbs has had enough of the Junker Queen. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Hey, I'll give it. You know what? I don't know that I've ever in my life seen a Washington Justice Orisa skin in action. Eve trying to get it done in the back. Doesn't land the pulse. Sliding forward with the overclock. 3 back-to-back shots all in on the Lau. Another one on the one leaf. This is looking pretty desperate here. Even Biblical, we're able to get a little bit of work done here in the back, but unfortunately we'll end up both watching a respawn timer as TS1 rounds the final corner here on Esperanca. $75 seconds, a little bit less on the clock. Biblical purple up top is being chased out. Razor's gonna come out and give chase. Biblical will go down, just runs right into Baz on the front line. Terror Search thrown in, nano boost on to Kibbs. Kibbs getting battered around. Eats an energy javelin to the face. Has to head up to the high ground, trying to wait off the purple. Finds Frothy Philly up here. Oh, but good cover out of PDK, who gets a nano boost as Frothy Philly drops down low. PDK in a duel on the outside, finishes off one leaf clover here at point blank range. Razor will find Lau up top. Biblical still hanging around at this point. Has managed to find Baz. Taking a lot of the sustain out of this push. I don't know if it's going to be enough to stop the Ducks, though. Yep, Kim's returning. Okay, so it's... Yeah, Ducks are able to kind of maintain this forward positioning long enough to get Baz back in the fight. They just push the bot forward. It buys time for the reinforcements to show up. And this is going to be a long trek back here for Ultimate to try to get it done. Biblical with the blade, currently in a duel with Baz. Baz gets the bio-nade, a bit of extra healing, turns around and gets a shot down onto Lau. Drops to finish off Biblical, who won't be able to get that blade out in time. Just goes in the back line to try to deal with one leaf. Meanwhile, there is a Primal Rage happening on the point, but Kibbs so low. Great bio-nade out of Frothy Philly. The yellow bar will go away. GG's in chat. It's a 3-0 here for Dhill Ducks. They will move up to 6-1 on the year. Or on the season. PDK, play the game. EK, I was not familiar with your game, my friend. Whew, what an outstanding series. What a great game. You know, it wasn't the most competitive game we've had on, particularly not recently, but that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Dhill Ducks are looking in form right now. You know, we're in absolute control throughout that series. And yeah, I wanted to get the alternate squad on. I kind of felt bad. Look, I caught them in a transition time. Is kind of what I'm saying. Let me clarify here before that gets really out of hand. I don't feel bad, you know, that they got beat. I feel bad that I caught them when they're kind of in a bit of transition. So Kibbs is talking about, you know, they're going to be making some moves, making some changes. We can expect alternate to bounce back from this. I look forward to that. I think we'll look back on this match. I'm hoping we can look back on this match as a comparison when we see alternate, you know, come back in stronger here, either later on in this season or in future seasons. We look back on this match and be like, wow, look how far alternate have come since that 3-0 versus Dhill Ducks. That's what I'm hoping to see from Kibbs and the rest of the alternate squad. But I got to say, you know what, the Ducks on fire here. I mean, incredible debut in Master Division. Oh, this is their debut in Master Division, right? Yeah, this is expert. Blastoff was an expert. Let's go take a look at the standings here after this match. Actually, before we do that, let's go check some scores. Still ongoing. Rat Academy with a 2-0 lead over Chain's Family. Extinction with a 2-0 lead over Tanuki. Rotation up 2-1 over Vex. That is a big, that's a big lead. Boop Troop up 2-0 over Midori as well. That's probably a pretty good match, honestly. I would expect Boop Troop and Midori to not be a 3-0, although, I mean, I feel like Boop Troop are, every time I feel like I've got a read on Boop Troop, they surpass my expectations, I will say. This match, though, has got some intrigue around it. Reminder, Nightmare Rotation are 1-5. Team Vex are 5-1. No, I'm sorry. Vexers are 3-3. I'm sorry. I was getting them confused with a different team. I'm sorry. I was getting them confused with a different team. My bad. No, never mind. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. That was just a brain fart. Okay, it's not as big a deal. I was thinking Vex were... I don't know why I had them confused with somebody else. My bad. So not as big an upset as I was originally thinking, but still, all right, good for rotation. I'd like to see all of our teams do well. All right, you know what? Ignore the brain fart there. Never mind. Taking a look at our standings here after. Let's hit a refresh just to make sure. Dhill Ducks. Now this is looking a little bit better, right? It looks a little bit more understandable than what we saw at the top of the series. With all your one-loss teams are kind of... No, nicely grouped. Dhill Ducks firmly sitting in second place. I mean, we could briefly bring up the schedule. I got one more match for you this week. There you go. It's Arius taking on Incendia for your EMEA Master bonus Overwatch there on Friday. Friday is kind of our mystery day. We cover whatever. Sunnyside, good to see you. I hope you're still playing. I enjoyed watching you play there in the Season 3 playoffs. I hope to see more out of you. Thank you for being here. I actually thank everybody for being here. I really appreciate everybody hanging out. It really does mean the world. Thank you all so much. Much love to all of our players here today. You're very welcome, PDK. It was an honor and a pleasure. Always glad to get the Ducks on. Always glad to get all the Ducks on. Ducks beat Ducks. It's just a fun game. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. It means the world to see y'all here hanging out. Yeah, I'll be back for tomorrow for some EMEA. That's all I've got for you for tonight. I don't have much else. Be nice to each other. Be kind to each other. Stay hydrated. All that good stuff. I'll see you back here for NA tomorrow. Have a good night, friends. Bye, y'all.